Oh, I'm just gonna move it back. All right. It's my episode this week. Welcome back to Rewind and Reload, the podcast where we talk about one pop culture topic a week.
Join Pikachu Ash in the game. The Mandalorian is great in the new series, and let's check out what's new in the world of pop culture with your hosts John, Tim, and Quentin, and a podcast we call Rewind
and Reload.
We make this joke every fucking episode, but before I reveal the topic for this week, I'll introduce the other two boys, or let them introduce themselves.
I'm Quint Q. I almost revealed I've said my full name. I'm Q.
You have like
Not Anon.
It's kind of like Batman and Bruce Wayne at this point. Like we get Q and then we get Quentin sometimes.
Depends on the week, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on what level of clearance he has in the government that week.
You're not supposed to mention that, Tim.
Jesus.
Oh shit, I just gave away who Q was.
Fuck.
Well, I'm John.
And I'm, as you heard, Tim.
It's Timmy time.
I was going to make a Tim the Toolman Taylor joke, but I don't know if that's alright to do now, since he's kind of a shithead.
I don't know. I still like that show a lot.
That's fair.
Isn't it sad that like those show like Roseanne? I liked that show a lot, but I hate her.
Nah, it was the Prozac. Or whatever fucking sleep medication
it was,
she was on.
not Ambien. Ambien?
I think you're right. I think it's Ambien.
I think so.
Yeah, dude, because I remember it was like when she made that tweet or whatever, and then it's like, sorry, I was on Ambien. But then if you go to like the subreddit for Ambien and see like the things that people post on there, it's like somebody nailed like a cookie to a table and like other just like ridiculous shit like that. I'm just like, I don't think Ambien made you say that, ma'am. I think you're just racist.
I
think it would have made
her
do crazier shit, not say that. I don't know. Anyways.
I like how Tim Allen went from smuggling cocaine over state lines to calling California the People's Republic of California. That was fun. That was a fun journey.
In the world, kind of funny sometimes.
Whatever happened to the voice of Pure Michigan? I don't know if those are regional commercials or not, but I was always fucking... Those were wild me out when I heard his voice.
The Pure Michigan ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be curious if they're around other places.
Probably. I mean, they're probably just tourist commercials. But anyway,
Yeah.
I didn't really do much this week, so I'll let you guys fill that part in, even though I have a feeling it'll probably be the same.
I don't remember if it happened. I think so. I think it was this maybe 2 weeks ago or something. I hit King of Games again in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's basically the only noteworthy thing I do every month. It's just, play children's card games.
And every month you say you won't do it again, and then every month you do it again.
Yeah, baby.
I haven't done a whole lot, to be completely honest. I've been working on our house a lot, so...
Doing adult things.
Yeah, so lame shit. I don't know. Yeah, just lame shit. We're getting chickens this week, so we've been preparing for that.
How many chickens you getting?
4 to 6. I can't remember.
Doesn't your guys' property back up to like a field?
Train tracks.
Still, I mean,
We're
I don't
technically
know how
country.
close, like, foxes get to you guys.
Oh, we have it all like.
Oh, okay.
We have a chicken coop and stuff that's all
get
like
in.
fenced up and
They'll
everything.
still get in.
No, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it depends.
I'm gonna ask my landlord if I can put a chicken coop in our yard. I live right in the middle of a city.
You definitely
town,
should.
Whatever.
Just ask him if you
It's
can keep.
fine.
Do you have a balcony or like a patio, or neither?
Yes. It's like a back patio, but it's a
Oh,
shared
okay.
area.
Okay, I was
You
gonna
should
say
get
just ask him if you can
bees.
put on your balcony. Bees, yes.
Yeah, you should start beekeeping just out of nowhere.
Just be like, so they're like, hey, we've got some complaints about bees,
Just on the shared patio. Just
and
put
you
your
answer
bee
the
box right
door
there.
in a fucking beekeeper outfit. Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Just like, hey man, there wasn't anything about this on the lease, so I just assumed it was cool.
I'm giving fresh local honey to everyone. What's the problem? But you guys want to talk about news? I know John had some stuff. I don't really have
Yeah.
much. I have one kind of funny thing, I think.
Let's see. We got some movie stuff. For the Flash movie, it's coming out in the next couple years. I think it's next year or something that it's slated for at the moment. They casted Sasha Calais for Supergirl.
I was hoping it was gonna be Sacha Baron Cohen.
Well, if you don't know who that is, I didn't either. It's just an actress from The Young and the Restless, which I don't.
Okay. Yeah, obviously I'll know that.
Yeah, I mean everyone knows that, right? Like everyone's like, "Oh, this is a perfect pick." I'm like, does
Who is this?
like
what?
does everyone watch daytime soap operas? Because I don't. Who the hell is this girl?
She's literally only been like soaps, I think. Maybe some like short films.
I saw a couple like kind of like B-rated like horror films that she
Ooh,
was
my
in.
favorite.
That's about it. But anyways, so that got cast, and next the Mortal Kombat trailer's out. It's now the most viewed Red Band trailer. I think
I
the
don't-
last. What's up?
No, go on. Sorry.
I think the last time I saw something on it was like 166 million views or something
I
in
just
like
watched
48
it.
hours.
Let me see if I can find the right one. I think I watched the IGN one. I don't know if
It's
there's.
pretty ridiculous. Like, considering the quality of past Mortal Kombat movies, I'm very surprised that people are, like, excited.
I think it's just a
Yeah.
franchise that a lot of people surprisingly like a lot.
Do you think maybe enough time has gone by that the legacy of the bad Mortal Kombat movies has just kind of been forgotten?
Probably, maybe.
I feel like it's more of a like they're so bad we can laugh at them and have a good time watching them still.
That's what this one looks like it's gonna be, because just this trailer alone is giving me some.
Yeah, I feel like it
Some
could go one of two
vibes.
ways. It could go really bad or really good.
Like, there was the scene. I watched the scene right before we started recording. And there was a scene with before death Scorpion, and he's doing like the rope thing with like the kunai, and it still doesn't make sense. It just doesn't obey physics. The rope just like snaps into position. It's like, okay, all right,
The man
it's
has
okay.
a flaming skull for a head. Physics don't matter to him.
I mean, does the video game physics really make sense when you do like one of your finishing moves, you break every bone in the other person's body and they just get back up?
Well, that's a video
So-
game.
Yeah,
But if you're looking at a movie,
it's based
You kind
on
of
a video
expect
game.
okay, it's just a fucking Shirai Ryu secret, I guess.
Ooh, actually, speaking of video game movie trailers, actually, it's not really a trailer, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2 did get a release date for April of 2022.
Did anyone watch the Pokemon concert? Not to undermine you, I just remember that happened.
No.
Oh, the Post Malone one?
Yeah.
No, I did not. Nope, I'm good on that.
I guess
I
we could
did
talk about
not.
how Pokemon's 25th anniversary just happened a couple days ago. I think it was a couple days ago, right?
2 days ago. Well, I think yesterday, technically speaking. So the 27th was like Pokemon Day, but then they announced a whole bunch of shit on the 26th.
Okay. Yeah, it was 27th. Yeah, that's some Breath of the Pokemon or whatever that game's called now.
Pokemon Legends. Is it Legends?
Colon
I think it's
Arceus?
Pokemon Legends Arceus. Where isn't it like pretty much open world and it's a prequel essentially
to
where
you get to
you're
meet God and himself.
yes, you're like basically like making the Pokedex for that region.
Oh,
If I'm
So
not
they
mistaken.
had a game where you make the Pokemon League, and now
Yeah,
making the Pokédex.
and now I don't know. I'm pretty hyped for it.
Next, you'll play as Arceus and just make the Pokemon.
Honestly, that'd be it. Well, isn't that Spore?
Yes. Yes, it is.
No, I'm pretty hyped for it. I know there's been a lot of mixed feelings online, but Pokemon fans are like the biggest fucking like babies. I don't really know the best way to describe them. They're very hard to please.
Yes. That's... Yeah. As someone who's like separated himself from the fan base a little bit these days, like I used to be a pretty hardcore Pokemon fan when I was a teenager. And now like, yeah, you just cannot please Pokemon. Nintendo fans in general. I really think you can just not please these people.
No, absolutely not.
they'll always find something to bitch about, honestly.
Yeah, no, the Gen
Yes.
4 remakes, they're like, oh, the characters are like chibis. It looks so dumb. But it's like they just took the sprites and stylized them into 3D. Like, what do you not understand about that?
Gen 1 sprite was literally like 16 pixels, and we're fucking complaining. That's perfect in their minds, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Big fucking babies.
So, what's this Superman rumor?
So apparently, there's a rumor flying around that oh my god, I forget the name of the director, but they're currently apparently trying to write a script for a Superman. I almost said Spider-Man. A Superman reboot.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, and apparently it follows Val Zod, who a lot of people know him as like Black Superman. And in the past, Michael B. Jordan has said that he would like to play him. So I guess there's rumors flying around that they're eyeing him or someone similar to him to play the role, which it'd be cool. But I also like don't know how I feel about, because I really like Henry Cavill too. So maybe we could, not make it a reboot, but make it like an extension. It'd be cool.
Nah, just make it all canon.
Make it all canon.
No.
Without saying spoilers, just do what WandaVision did. Make it all canon. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Superman's got a fucking goofy continuity to begin with, so it doesn't.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Every fucking comic has weird continuity.
Yeah, I was talking to Carly about this earlier. That like Marvel, they have like 5-year plans that they plan out like what superhero movies they want to green light and everything like 5 years out a lot of the times. And Warner Bros and DC, they don't greenlight stuff until something does good. So like
Yeah.
for me, they're like at this point in time, they're destined to be in this kind of limbo where they just keep rebooting things until something takes off and then they keep going. They just need to stick with it.
They want so bad to be Marvel, like the Marvel
Yeah.
like people who make the movies, but they can't get it. I don't know.
At this point, the monster universe is going to take off before the DC one does.
God.
You know what I mean?
And that movie's directed by fucking Adam Wingard, the guy who brought us fucking Death Note 2018. He's the reason we're seeing fucking King Kong with an axe already.
He's just fucking Thor. Leave him alone.
Dude, it is. It is literally just Stormbreaker, or whatever that axe is called.
Stormbreaker.
I always think that's it probably is an Elder Scrolls weapon, to be honest with you, but I always get this fucking idea in my head that I was like, no, that's a Skyrim weapon, isn't it?
There's Dawnbreaker. That's a Skyrim
That's it.
weapon.
I'm combining that and Stormcloaks.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what's happening.
I just got Mjolnir the other day, actually. I got a replica version. I don't know if I told you guys.
I think
you
you
sent
said
me a
it was
Snapchat.
coming, but you didn't.
Yeah, Carly got it for me for Christmas, and it just came like about a week and a half ago.
It's really weird that the UPS guy was able to pick that up for you.
He picked up the box that it was in.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how you gotta do it. He was worthy
you seen
for
that
the
fucking
box,
video?
What?
I don't know if it's an actual video, but it's like a compilation someone did of like everyone from Thor Ragnarok trying to pronounce Mjolnir, or is Thor Ragnarok or not Infinity War, Endgame. And it's like everyone trying to pronounce Mjolnir, and then it's just what's his name?
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, and he's just like Mark or some name like that.
I'm pretty sure he says Mark.
It's like, okay.
Mark.
Glad to... Paul Rudd always I thought it was gonna be like a compilation of people getting it wrong, and then Paul Rudd just being like just perfect. But nah, it's just like some like name. Like I'm pretty sure it was Mark, yeah, and he's just like, I was like, okay, alright, cool.
No, maybe it was Steven. I don't know. It
was I think it is Steven.
I think it was Steven.
I think it's Steven. That makes, yeah, I think it was.
Because it was, I don't think it started with an M. But like,
no,
yeah,
I think you're right.
That, oh my God, when I watched that video, I lost it. That was so funny.
So to get us back on track a little bit, just one little bit of news I thought was funny. Apparently, the anime for Promise Neverland Season 2 is very bad. To give context and then explain, the manga has been finished for about a year and a half. This most recent season just started the beginning of this year, and they just decided, let's just tell a different story.
Oh. Do they think like, oh, hey, we're going to do a different story, and the people who read the manga are going to watch it? Like, no, that's...
I don't know, dude, because
that's
everyone who I've talked to who's read the manga is like, oh, it's great. It's like the opposite of Full Metal Alchemist and other animes who had that problem.
Or Blue Exorcist. At least those two, they fixed it.
Yeah, fair.
Like, Full Metal Alchemist came back out with a new series that followed the manga, and Blue Exorcist tried to fix it with a season 2.
Apparently, they just went full. There was an episode where they just went full like C tier movie, and just had the full episode was like characters sitting in a circle while one explained a year's worth of history to the other two. So that was fun. They didn't animate any of it. It was just him telling us the story.
So like the last 6 episodes of Naruto Shippuden I watched. Cool. I've been watching that. Holy shit, is it filler?
There's a site where you can figure out what's filler and what's not. So
I did, but there's like, I've been kind of trying to watch the first couple minutes of it to see if I want to watch it. Because like there are some filler things that I like find funny and goofy that I want to watch real quick, but I don't know. I've been skipping a lot around.
That's fair. Apparently, I'm just gonna read this verbatim the way it's written. Some gaming forum sites are banning trailers and discussion of the upcoming Harry Potter game due to the fact that J.K. Rowling and the head designer have very big reviews that have come out in the past year. J.K. Rowling's has not been just the past year, but I understand where this headline is coming from.
Yeah, no, it's mostly that they found out that the head designer here in the past year has come out that he has like this YouTube channel, and apparently was in this group that doesn't think that girls should play video games, and he's like pretty much a total menace and total shithead. So I don't think this game's gonna do very well anymore.
I mean,
but millennials do fucking love Harry Potter. So
I do.
I'm begging you, please read another book.
I've read plenty of books.
I like the
I'm not
movies.
talking about you guys specifically. I'm talking about millennials.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm indifferent. I think they're good movies. I don't really care to sit down and read the books.
Isn't one of the first 2 movies like directed by a... Hold on, let me see. They're directed by Chris Columbus, and I'm pretty sure... maybe that's something else I'm thinking of. I thought he like got outed as someone who like tried to fiddle with fans or kids.
Okay.
I guess that wasn't him. Anyway, not to drag that man through the dirt.
Yeah. Oops. But yeah, I don't think this game's gonna do super great because if they can't get good word out about the game, then everyone's gonna forget about it, and there's not a whole lot of publicity around it, anyways. And it's
I didn't
already
even know it
gotten
was a
pushed
thing.
back to 2022. So
Well, that's unfortunate. I was looking forward to it a little bit, but I guess let's just get into the topic. This week. So originally, this week my topic was the anime Gurren Lagann, which is like my favorite anime, and it's important to say that it's about giant robots.
They keep getting bigger and bigger.
On a massive scale, yes.
Planetary.
But
really.
instead, because of some news that came out this week, I decided to change to another robot-related topic and discuss the history of what I consider to be one of the most legendary electronic music groups ever, maybe. And that's Daft Punk.
I'd say it's a fair statement.
The news came out that they have officially disbanded. But we'll talk about how they announced that towards the end, because I have an outline of just the group's general history, and then we could talk about albums as we go. But what do you say, Quentin? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm saying I think that's a fair statement. They are probably one of the best-known electronic groups.
I would definitely say they popularized. Fuck me. They made electric music very popular in the mainstream.
Yeah, they made they're credited, I'll talk about this later too, but they're credited by a lot of like music magazines as bringing like French house music to like the mainstream like cultural I can't think of the word I wanted, but yeah, mainstream culture, I guess.
Yeah.
So
learn
I
us,
guess
man.
I'll jump. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna jump right into it. I have it broken up into eras, but the first one is the origins. So, the two robots, I guess, is what they would later become known, but their real names are Guy Manuel de Homem Cristo and Thomas Bangalter. They met in 1987 while they were both attending the Lycée Carnot secondary school in Paris. They became quick friends and recorded a couple demos with like other people at school, which, I mean, I don't think you can find them. They were probably on like cassettes. So, but in 1992 they formed a guitar-focused group called Darlin, with Bangalter on bass, Homem Cristo on guitar, and an additional guitarist named Loren Brankowitz. They named the group after the Beach Boys song "Darlin'," which they also like covered on one of their only released demos, I guess. You can actually find the demo. It's only 12 minutes. They made it at the time. It's on YouTube, and it's okay. It's just guitar covers. So like, there's nothing really special there.
So they don't sing any
covers
lyrics.
can be.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean they were 18-year-old French kids at this point, so like I don't know if they really wanted to. But like it's just guitar covers.
I mean, it'd be nice for like ambient music, I guess.
You can hear there's some sounds on there that's like very clearly kind of like going to carry through with them. Like you can tell like, oh, they liked this sound or they like that sound, so they like there's some of that kind of rings with later Daft Punk music. The demo also has like like I said, it's on YouTube. The cover is there, like someone scanned it in, and it's the only photo. I mean, I'm sure there's other ones on the internet, but it's the only photos of the robots' faces I've ever really seen. But they were also like I said, just out of high school at this point, so it's obviously not a good representation for today.
They're very good about not showing their faces.
We'll talk about it. I have a whole section on why and kind of their philosophy behind it. Bangalter later said that, quote, "the rock and roll thing we did was pretty average, I think." A negative review of the band would be pretty crucial to their next project, though. Dave Jennings wrote in Melody Maker, which is a British music magazine, that Darlin was, quote, a Daft Punky thrash.
I
The
see
band
where
found
they
the
might have
name.
got their name.
Yeah, the band found the review pretty amusing and decided to make the name of their next project. Homom Christo said that, quote, we struggled so long to find the name Darlin, and this just happened so quickly. Darlin disbanded not too long after, leaving Bronkowitz to pursue other projects, namely his rather successful indie pop band Phoenix, who are still making music. Which I didn't know that. Well, obviously I didn't know most of this, like the early stuff going in, but I didn't know that, like, oh yeah, this guy who used to play with the guys who would become Daft Punk is like also still just making music.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
At least he's not like
And
flipping
then
burgers or anything.
yeah, he can just become like an office
Office
data
drone.
entry.
Yeah.
Wake up at 6 a.m., eat breakfast, go to work, hate my life, that kind of thing. 1993. We're going forward to 1993 to 1999, which I've dubbed the homework era. After forming Daft Punk and experimenting with drum machines and synthesizers, the robots. So if to preface, if Homom Christo and can't find the other Bangleter are referred to like together for the most part in this, I'm just going to call them the robots. There are certain quotes that are attributed to individuals, so I'll say who it is then. But like I was saying, after forming Daft Punk and experimenting with drum machines and synthesizers, the robots attended a rave at Euro Disney, which I guess is a thing that happened in the 90s.
Disney raves, hell yeah.
Dude, I would totally go to a rave
At Disney.
Fucking seeing those like water shows and shit. Oh man, you'd lose your mind.
At the rave, they met Stuart McMillan of Slam, which is a band. He was also the co-founder of the label Soma Quality Recordings. They gave him a demo tape, which formed the basis for Daft Punk's debut single, The New Wave. Again, I listened to this. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's just like a little bit. It's like early electronic music, like early '90s electronic music.
I like that we're like, oh, we all fucking love this band. And then we're going.
They don't really hit their stride until
No.
like 1995.
And a lot of bands don't, but it's just like, it's fine. They're
Yeah,
not good
like,
yet, but they're
a lot of their
fine.
early stuff is, I'm going to say, yeah, it's fine. Even like some of their middle stuff, I'm just gonna be like, it's all right.
They're still figuring out what they're doing, you know.
Yeah, but that single is, I think, well, I might have written down. I think it's on something later, but maybe they just dropped it altogether. In May 1995, Daft Punk returned to the studio to record Da Funk, which will go on to be their first commercially successful single the same year. After the success, they looked for a new manager and eventually settled on Pedro Winter. Winter promoted them and other artists at his Hype nightclubs, which is a capital H. I guess that is a chain of nightclubs. There was no Wikipedia link for me to look.
Probably just a nightclub that hosted a lot of ecstasy.
I mean, that's like every nightclub, right?
I don't know. I've never been to a nightclub.
Neither have I. That's
live
what I'm
in
asking.
fucking Indiana. Do we have nightclubs here? I don't know.
Only like 50 miles from Valpo. Well, more. It's actually like 100.
There's no nightclubs up there. They're all fucking dive bars.
That's true. It's September 1996. The band signed with Virgin Records. The duo made a deal where they licensed their tracks to the label through their production company, Daft Tracks. Bangalter stated that the duo had received multiple offers from other record companies, but they wanted to wait on it to ensure that they didn't lose creative control of their music, which is probably smart.
Yes. I feel like a lot of bands
because
don't do that, and they get
They don't
fucked.
do that, and then they get their labels like, actually, we want music like this,
Yeah.
and then they're just like, well,
That's
they
how you
pay
get
us.
sellouts. You know? That's how you get put on a fucking Ford commercial.
Yeah. It's how you become one of those bands where like you're basically just a commercial band
Yeah.
where your songs like end up in 20 years on a commercial and that's how people remember them.
And like, I get it. You get this label comes to you and it's like, hey, we want to we want you to make your music, blah, blah, blah. And you sign the contract without reading because you're so excited. And then a couple years down the road, they're telling you what to do and you realize, oh, I'm not really making what I want to make anymore.
Yeah, which leads to a lot of band breakups, I think, because they'll just say fuck it. And I guess the big
Yeah.
one that comes to mind is the Beatles. They had a very differing opinion of what music they wanted to make, so they just said, okay, well, I'm gonna go make my music and you can go make yours.
Yeah.
um he said that ultimately they considered the deal with Virgin to be more akin to a partnership than anything else, since they really didn't tell them what kind of music to make, they just put it out. In 1997, the group released their debut album, Homework. Their previous singles, Da Funk and Alive, were included on the album. The album was met with rave reviews and was credited as bringing French house music to the world stage. So I guess this is the album I was talking about earlier.
Every time you say defunk, I think of an episode of The Mighty Boosh that they're trying to find defunk and become like a funky band. I don't know.
I mean, that's fair. The most successful single on the album was Around the World, which I'd consider to be maybe one of the best songs ever created. I'm not saying the best, but
fucking music video is like mind-blowingly amazing. Like just the choreography for me is
and like what other song can you name that only has 3 words, but like everyone who enjoys it will like inevitably just sing along to it?
oh yeah. You're saying the same shit over and over again, but it's amazing. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like I said in this little blurb, I said it's fantastic and it's simple and fantastic in the best possible ways, which like I truly mean. Like it's just like the beats are, I don't know. I don't want to go too far into it, but that song's really great. Go give it a listen.
No, it's beautiful.
And
watch the
that's the
music
kind of thing
video
you're
with
into.
it because it makes the experience that much better, in my opinion.
Go watch the music video for Da Funk. It's got a weird guy in a dog costume who can't turn off his boombox, and he broke his leg.
God, that's fucking relatable. I know that. Trust
How many
me.
times has Q done that? Jesus. Every time I go over to his house.
So, September 9th, 1999 at 9:09 a.m., the incident happened. But I think we'll talk about this in just a second. Up to this point, Daft Punk had performed without costumes in a couple places. I think I read that they did like a concert. They did a concert tour throughout the U.S. and for some reason Milwaukee stands out to me. I think they played in. But as more fame came, the duo decided it was time to hide their identities. And Bangleter said that, quote, "We did not choose to become robots. There was an accident in our studio. We were working on our sampler, and at exactly 9:09 a.m. on September 9th, 1999, it exploded. When we regained consciousness, we discovered that we had become robots."
Dun dun dun.
So that's what that's the incident that gave rise to the classic silver and gold robots that we know/knew as Daft Punk.
So for about 2 years of them being big, from 97 to 99, if people went and saw a show by them, they got to see their face. And then after that, did they go back and kill all those people so that no one knew what their faces
They
looked like?
no, they Men in Black neuralized them in a concert. They got all their big fans together, neuralized everybody.
They didn't have a pen though. It was just like the masks themselves did that.
Well,
They
that
had-
and like the lights at the concerts would blink a certain way, and it would,
They
That
had,
also
like,
makes sense.
it would like
Yeah.
MK Ultra the audience.
They had like a free concert where they're like, hey, if you've ever seen us before, like bring your old ticket and we'll give you a free show.
Yeah, exactly. But the duo have said that they donned their robot outfits to easily merge the characteristics of humans and machines. Bangleter later said that the costumes were initially the result of shyness, but, quote, then it became exciting from the audience's point of view. It's the idea of being an average guy with some kind of superpower. Which is, I think, an interesting, like, perspective on it of, like, hey, we used to just, initially we did this because, hey, we don't really, I'll talk about another reason why they did this late in a second. But they were like, hey, we're kind of like shy, and we're just gonna do it at this in costumes, and the audience is like, hell yeah, dude, this is cool.
It's kind of like furry-esque.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like, because like a lot of furries put on furry costumes because they're really shy, and they can be their real selves when they have the costumes on.
I don't want to talk about furries right now.
I'm just saying it's a
No,
little.
I know I get what you're
the
saying.
same vein. Which I can't like.
Sure.
It's a great way if you have stage fright or you're like shy, and that helps you be yourself. Like it's a great empowering thing. So like, go for it.
Do you think Daft Punk has been on The Masked Singer? But then they took off their costume and it was just another costume.
I don't know. That'd be great. I've never watched The Masked Singer. I've only watched one clip of Ryan Reynolds doing it in Japan.
It's a wild show. The production value is like
They had Tommy Hawk.
dumb. Yeah, they did. I forgot about that.
Really?
They had like a bunch of
He
like
was an
people.
elephant.
Yeah, you'd think he would be a hawk, but no.
That'd be too obvious.
Yeah.
Even though I think Jamie Foxx was a fox.
Jesus Christ.
Well, she is a fox, so.
I think that's a he.
This is what this is. Jamie Foxx a man.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I thought of Jamie Lee Curtis.
They are very different people.
They are. I mean, they're both very attractive people, though, at the end of the day.
In regards to fame and stardom, Bangleter, as you probably picked up, the noted more talkative and opinionated of the duo, because a lot of my quotes are going to be coming from him, said, quote, "We don't believe in the star system. We want the focus to be on the music. If we have to create an image, it must be an artificial image. The combination hides our physicality and also shows our view of the star system. It is not a compromise. We're trying to separate the private side and the public side. It's just that we're a little bit embarrassed by the whole thing. We don't want to get recognized on the streets. Everyone has accepted us using masks and photos so far, which makes us happy. We think that the music is the most personal thing we can give. The rest is just people taking themselves seriously, which is all very boring sometimes."
They just took the Dolly Parton approach to like the next level. She like wears wigs and stuff because she doesn't want to get recognized out in public. They're just like, you know what, we're gonna one up that.
In the same interview, he said, quote, "Yes, I think people understand what we are doing. I know many people who maybe like the way we are handling things. People understand that you don't need to be on the covers of magazines with your face to make good music. Painters or other artists, you don't know them, but you know what they're doing. We are very happy that the concept in itself is becoming famous. In France, you speak of Daft Punk, and I'm sure millions of people have heard it, but less than a few thousand people know our face, which is the thing we're into. We control it, but it's not us physically, our persons. We don't want to run into people who are the same age as us, shaking our hand and saying, 'Can I have your autograph?' because we think we're exactly like them. Even girls, they can fall in love with your music, but not with you. You don't always have to compromise yourself to be successful. Playing with masks is just to make it funnier. Pictures can be boring. We don't want all the rock and roll poses and attitudes. They're completely stupid and ridiculous today."
I like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I like
Just
that
like,
point of
hey,
view.
Fuck us. Listen to our music.
Exactly. That's what I thought that's why I put all this in here, is I thought it was really,
Well, I feel like a lot of
I
people
like their point of view on it.
I feel like a lot of people want to be rock stars to be famous themselves, not to have people listen to their music. So, like,
Yeah.
it's a good way to do it.
So that brings us to 1999 to 2003, the Discovery era. In 1998, the duo began recording their second album. Released in 2001, Discovery took on a slicker and distinctly synth-pop style, much to the fans of Homework. The group say that the album was conceived as an attempt to reconnect with playful, open-minded attitudes associated with the Discovery's phase of childhood. So yeah, if you listen to like Homework and then listen to Discovery, it's like two different worlds, and that was, I think, very intentional.
Yeah.
So, the album reached number 2 in the United Kingdom, and a single "One More Time" was a major club and mainstream hit that nearly topped the UK single chart.
I'm gonna have these songs stuck in my head now because of this. I can just hear them in my head.
I've been listening to their music all week, and it's very catchy. In 2003, the feature-length film Interstellar 555, the story of the secret star system, and all those S words have fives at the beginning. Daft Punk was released. Daft Punk produced the film under the supervision of Leiji Matsumoto, one of their childhood heroes. You guys might know him because some of his notable works include Space Battleship Yamato, Galaxy Express 999, and Space Pirate Captain Harlock. Which, funny enough, also inspired the other thing that I was about to talk about this week, but didn't.
Everything is connected.
Oh my
Everything
God.
is connected back.
It's all robots.
Robots all the way down.
Space and robots, baby.
I personally, really actually love this film,
Yes.
and I encourage anyone who likes anime and the music of Daft Punk to check it out.
It's a
It
perfect
kind of...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. I was going to say, it's kind of like it turned what would just be like an assortment of songs into almost a concept album whenever I listen to it. Like, I can't not picture the movie.
Yeah.
So...
Whenever you hear the music from it, you think of what they were doing. And I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm a person, I love music videos, and it's just almost a giant music video with a story.
I mean, there's no
and a
dialogue
plot.
other than...
No, yeah.
I don't think there's any... Yeah, there's no dialogue other than the songs and the lyrics therein.
And it's
But
amazing.
there's a full-length story.
Yeah, it's amazing that there's a story with a plot and characters that you actually care about, and all it is music.
Yep. It's great.
Actually, I have my little quick blurb about One More Time. I watched this video that kind of breaks down how the sampling works, and it just blows my mind that in One More Time, so they sampled a song called "More Spell on You" from Eddie Johns, and it just blows my mind away that they basically take essentially 5 notes from that song, all at different points, within a 30-second interval. And they're like, all right, so we're going to repeat the middle notes 2 times and then play the first one and then play the last one to, basically give you one more time. And just the way that they can just do that is insane to me. Okay, we're just gonna completely chop up and screw this around and do whatever we want with it and create an entirely new piece of music.
It's amazing that they have an ear for that. They can listen to a song and be like, "Oh, I want this and I want that," and we can make a song out of it.
Exactly.
I can't do that. There's no way.
the way they're able to isolate specific notes that they want and then figure out how to manipulate them in a way that they're yeah, this is gonna sound good is just absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Before Quentin showed me his video before recording, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I watched it. And I was like, I guess I didn't realize how much electronic music is just samples that are rearranged and turned into something really, really good.
Yeah,
And,
I don't really know a whole lot about the genre itself, but I would have to assume that they were definitely pretty big pioneers in the whole sampling scene.
I mean, especially considering, well, I think it's a little bit later, but we'll talk about the fact that one of their most popular songs was sampled by Kanye, and they were like, yeah, we'll help you make music, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The
that brings
music
us
video.
to...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, go on.
I was gonna say the music video for Kanye West's thing is inspired by Akira. So back to the anime thing.
Yeah. Because Kanye West is like... He's
a
weird
weeb.
now, but you can tell, yeah, he's a weeb. Because he talked about, like, yeah, I made video games when I was a teenager and shit, and I was like, okay, you fucking nerd. It's like Todd Howard.
His brain is scrambled as fuck.
I was on
man.
the chess club. Okay, Todd. All right. Who's laughing now?
Still
That's
us.
a great interview. Still your high school bullies, Todd. Still them. You put out the same game 5 times in the last 10 years. It's still your bullies, Todd. That brings us to 2004 to 2007, which is the Human After All era. In March 2005, the Robots released their third album, Human After All. The album was written and recorded in the span of 6 weeks, and fittingly, the reviews were mixed, with criticism citing its repetition and seemingly hasty recording. I still kind of like this album. Like I said earlier, there's some of their middle stuff. I really love Discovery. Let me go back. I didn't say that enough. But Human After All's, like I said, fine. It's okay. There's still some bangers on there, like Robot Rock and Technologic. There's still good stuff, but there's also some kind of like very repetitive stuff. So do with that what you will.
What are you talking about? You got Around the World.
Robot Rock. The group also went on a ton of tours during this time. I'm not even going to try and tell you every one of them. Just know that the Robots were doing a lot of traveling during those years. Like, my main source for this is the Wikipedia article, and I swear to God that Wikipedia article broke down like they were here this day, this day, this day. I was like, okay, thank you.
They have a very loyal fan base that knows a lot about them. I think it's because they're so secretive that people are so drawn to just know more about them.
Like,
That's
you
probably
want to have
true.
a private life? Nope, that's going to make me want to know more about you.
Yeah.
They also released their first directed film, Daft Punk's Electroma, in 2006 at the Cannes Film Festival. This movie's often forgotten, but it'll become important towards the end here.
It's all right. I'd say it's fine.
Yeah, it's just kind of Interstellar 5555, but real life. And it's just the robots like doing stuff.
If it wasn't like, I don't know, if it was anime, I think I'd like it more, honestly.
That's probably fair.
Like,
I remember reading, I think this is probably around this time, but I remember watching like a 30-minute like mini documentary about like the creation of the costumes and how it changed over time, and I think this movie was a big part of it, but I don't remember like most of it. I just remember like, oh well, they wanted to originally, like, the gloves were kind of stiff, so they were like, oh well, we'll make this other kind of thing. And then there was an issue with photos of the helmet, where if the flash was too bright, you could see their faces through the helmet. So they had to like redo whatever is on the eye portion of the masks so that it would reflect camera flashes and things like that,
So it's
but
like
they
a
could still
two-way
see
mirror
out.
kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that. There was like a big explanation about how they did it, and it's really interesting. And if you can find it, I don't remember what it was called. If you type in Daft Punk costume documentary, you can probably find it. It's actually really interesting from like a costume creation aspect. But that brings us to 2008 to 2011, the Tron and Kanye years.
That's a good title.
In February 2008, Daft Punk made a surprise appearance at the 50th Grammy Awards with Kanye West to perform a reworked version of the song Stronger, which famously sampled their song Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Also in 2008, the duo's longtime manager Pedro Winter stepped down to focus on his record label and his work as Busy P. Again, no Wikipedia link to Busy P.
So
Busy
he
P
just
is
stepped
an
down.
enigma.
I'm assuming if I clicked on his name, it would have taken me to his musical act, but I was like, I want a whole article just dedicated to why he chose the name Busy P. At the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con, it was announced that Daft Punk had composed 24 tracks for the film Tron Legacy. This movie's kind of doo-doo, in my opinion. I'm sure people like it,
Okay.
but like obviously the music is a huge standout.
Yes, I was just about to say the only thing that brings this movie out of like a total shitbag of movies is the music, and then this scene with Daft Punk when it's the fight scene and they're up there in their booth like making like, you know, doing a concert pretty much. Like those two things I will rewatch that movie for.
You know, I've never actually seen this movie, but this shit sounds kind of hype. It sounds pretty cool, actually. Everything else about it, from what I've heard, not super cool.
I mean, the original Tron, to be completely honest,
Dude,
is
the
not
original
that
Tron
great
kinda
of a
doo-doo.
fucking movie. Like, I don't know
It
why
was also
they,
the worst level in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I feel like
oh
someone.
my god, dude, don't
Yeah.
even get me started on that.
I feel like
Yeah. Fuck the Tron level in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I feel like
Sorry.
there was a board meeting, and someone was like, "Hey, man, we need new movie ideas," and they're like, and someone was listening to Daft Punk, and they're like, "Yo, what if we put Daft Punk and Tron? They're robots. This is a game. Fuck it." And that's how it came to be, because that's the only like aspect of the movie that I feel like people really, one, remember, and two, care about.
I don't remember if it's this or somewhere else I've talked about. I respect Tron for being like one of the original Tron for being like the groundbreaking CGI movie that people were like, at the time were like, whoa, like we can do anything with CGI. And
Yeah,
but you watch it now and it's really badly dated and it's kind of a shit story to begin with.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of movies out there that were groundbreaking, and we respect them as groundbreaking movies, but it doesn't change the fact that they're kind of doo-doo.
Yeah.
The acting in the original Tron was not good. The special effects for the time are mind-blowing, really, but nowadays they're, I don't know. I guess they're still better than some movies that come out.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to think of like other. There's a lot of slashers that are that way.
Yeah.
They kind of doo-doo, but like I respect them for like spawning this whole cultural phenomenon of
Really,
like
any slasher movie from the 80s
yeah,
is in the same
like
vein.
the original kaiju movies kind of doo-doo, but like they like again they spawned this huge cultural phenomenon that's like still ongoing to this day.
Yeah.
So, and even then, like I kind of have to give them credit because they weren't even like the focus wasn't on the monsters at the time. They were like, hey, we want to tell a story about why nuclear testing is bad, or we want to tell a story about. Just use your imagination for what King Kong's about. I'm not going to come out and say it. I don't want to get us demonetized on YouTube.
I can always edit it out.
No, it's
I
fine.
can just take this.
I think
shit.
it was a commentary on like how do I put this? The slave trade to some degrees and
Yeah.
curiosities from the East and shit like that. But
Which I feel like a lot of people don't realize.
no, because
like-
they just see big gorilla
And
and
same with Godzilla being an anti, you know.
yeah. Oh, that one's
testing.
kind of. I mean, you watch the movie and like, I get maybe it's like a language barrier thing that whoever subtitled it and / dubbed it at the time was like, oh well, we're the only ones who use nukes and we can't be talking bad about us. So they like just made it about the Godzilla. And
Yeah.
so
Gotta save face.
Godzilla.
but anyway, in 2010, Daft Punk were admitted to the here's where my French lessons I've been doing for the past half a year come in. Ordre des Arts et des Lettres. I think that R is silent, but which I think is the Order of Arts and
Letters.
I assume that's literature or books.
That makes more sense.
An Order of Artistic Merit in France. Bangalter and Homam Christo were also individually awarded the rank of Chevalier or Knight.
Ooh, Robo Knights.
Oh, dude, that's fucking badass.
But
We're fucked if we get in a war with France now. Fuck, they got Robo Knights.
they'll just psyop us with very loud, like, electronic French house music. It'll be like what did we do? The thing we did in Vietnam where we like played screaming over loudspeakers to make them think there were ghosts in the jungle. But they'll make us think that fucking Daft Punk is outside with their robot knights.
I would honestly be more afraid of that than ghosts.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of
I don't know,
ghosts,
dude.
but robots are a completely another thing.
Robot knights
I'm kind of afraid of
on
both.
top of that?
So
I mean, like, I don't know. Ghosts are spooky, I guess. But
I saw a funny I don't know, I think it was a shower thought on Reddit where it's like if someone really got killed by a ghost and turned into a ghost, they could kick their murderer's ass as a ghost.
there you go.
Now, let's think about this logically. Okay, you got
All
ghosts.
right, let's
How do you
think
get
about
rid
this
of them?
logically, all right?
Holy water. Easy. You got robot knights. How do you get rid of them?
Regular
Nothing.
water.
Yeah. Hey, I
Oh,
just
no, I'm sure.
finished 15 seasons of Supernatural. I know how to take care of ghosts, guys. No fucking clue on robots.
They cover that in like the first season.
Yes. But they
And then the
continue
show
to
gets
cover it
fucking
over
off
and
the
over
rails.
again.
Then the show gets off the rails and everyone freaks out because someone says I love you.
Yes.
Yep.
Hey,
That was the strangest 5 years later fan discourse I've ever seen.
Are you talking about the yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that I disliked it.
That's
And
no,
they
it's
acknowledged
fine.
it. They acknowledged their
I didn't
fans.
like
but
I didn't watch to the point where I was like, "Oh, yeah, this should happen."
Go.
So I guess I don't have a say in it.
I didn't want
but,
that
like-
to happen, but I was also like, at least you're like taking care of your fans here on the last couple episodes.
Fair enough. But that brings us to 2011, 2015, all of the random access memories era.
RAM.
Yeah. It took me longer than I'd like to admit as someone with a computer science degree to realize what the title meant.
If Quentin didn't just say that, we could have went through this entire podcast and I never would have noticed. For a second, I was like, that's weird that Tim put this in our outline, like in italics. But I just didn't. I was just like, whatever. Let's keep going.
No, it was funny during like when I first started going back to school, and like one of the professors like said like the random access memory, like literally that was all I could think of was Daft Punk, and I was like,
I think that happened to me too when that happened, and because I went to the same school for basically the same degree, and I think I had the same like revelation in class where I was like, oh,
I was just like sitting in my computer desk, just like, holy shit, that makes sense.
yup. in January of 2013, Homem Cristo revealed that Daft Punk was in the process of signing with Sony Music Entertainment through the Columbia Records label. He also revealed that the album they've been teasing would have a spring release. Between this, I think it was between this, Daft Punk also co-produced Kanye's sixth album, Yeezus.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite Kanye album, too.
I don't know if I've ever actually really listened to this album because I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of Kanye, but I might go back and listen to this album. Just
All right,
to,
I think I didn't write it down, but I think let me Wikipedia it real quick.
I will let
But I
you
think
know right now, John. On Site, fucking banger. Black Skinhead, fucking banger. I
think
God,
that was one of the
fucking
songs
banger.
they had like a big impact on was Black Skinhead.
What
Trying
song
to
is
find
it? Isn't Yeezus one of the songs on this album where he has one of the artists that help him, or one of the artists that are featured on it is literally just God?
I mean, maybe. Let me load up the album too, but the Wikipedia has them creating the tracks, helping to create the tracks, On Site, Black Skinhead, I Am a God, and Send It Up.
Oh, so pretty much every song that I just named is a banger.
all the bangers. I will go and
Track
listen to this later.
listing. I'm gonna try and see if I can do a quick Google. That one just says Pope. I don't know if that's a person. Capital G God. I'm gonna go through this track listing. Yep, I Am a God credits God as a featured artist. Hell yeah. The album released in May 2013 to rave reviews. The Robots had collaborated with various artists, including Paul Williams, disco band Chic frontman Nile Rodgers, and disco and techno music legend Giorgio Moroder and Pharrell Williams. Just a little bit that I watched an interview with. Do you guys know? You guys remember like the track Giorgio that Giorgio Moroder was on? Where it's basically like an interview with him before the song starts.
I don't remember off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, not off the top of my head.
Well, there's so it's basically an interview that the Robots did with him, where he talks about how he, like his career, how he started, and he was just like living in his car and doing concerts here and there, and then like he figured this thing out where he put a click on an album to like have the beat. Anyway, I think he said it was like at the end of a record. And he just recorded that like click, click, click of the needle dropping, and he put that as the back of the song, and that's how he got the beat, the click, the sound of. And he talks about how he was finding the song of the future, and that was the synthesizer. But in this interview, he talked about how they contact him through his agent, and they're like, hey, do you want to have lunch, talk about maybe being on the album? And he's like, yeah, sure, so long as I can bring my son because he's a huge fan. And they're like, okay, well, so long as he doesn't say anything about who we are, because they obviously weren't going to wear the helmets to lunch and everything. And he goes,
Just imagine that.
and then he's like, yeah,
laugh so hard if like they had little like drop down things where they could just eat through it.
And then, so they show up, they have this meeting, he's like, okay, I'll do the album. Or I'll do a song or two. And then he shows up to the studio later, and he's like, okay, it's like, how do you want to like go about starting like with the music? And they're like, oh, no. We're going to do the music. You sit down, and you just tell us about your life and how you got started with music and like things like that. And so he sits down, and he said there was 3 microphones. There was like an old like 50s, 60s microphone, then like a 70s microphone, and an 80s microphone. And he said that as he went through his story of like how his music career evolved, they changed which microphone was like hot, so that the sound would like sound different.
Yeah.
And to match that era of his life and music,
That's
which I thought was
awesome.
like, yeah, exactly. I didn't like, I never realized it listening to the album or anything, and then I was like, holy shit. Like, just like the pure like kind of art and thought that goes into just creating. I mean, this album's great. We'll talk about like how fucking well received it is in a second, but
Could you imagine just like showing up thinking that you're about to get like put some hard work into a song and they're like, yo, just talk about yourself.
yeah.
I'd be like, fuck yeah.
But I just thought that was really like interesting aside because I saw that interview and it fucking blew my mind. And I'm sure there are other ones from like Paul Williams and everyone else, but that one stood out. So like I said, that this album was fucking monstrously successful. I don't remember a time where you didn't hear it on the radio, especially get the song "Get Lucky."
Oh yeah.
Constant. But the album and its music videos won a variety of awards. Not the least of which was at the 56th Annual Grammy Awards, where it won the Grammy for Best Dance/Electronic Album, Album of the Year, and Best Engineered Album, Non-Classical. The single, Get Lucky, received a Grammy for Best Pop, Duo/Group Performance, and Record of the Year. So that's 5 awards.
Yeah.
That are like the biggest of the categories. So yeah, this album was... And they went on stage in the robot costumes, obviously.
I don't even care about the Grammys, but just that they won them,
I think it was Paul. I think Paul Williams gave the acceptance speech, which is like hilarious because he's like, "Yeah, the robots are telling me this."
the robots are telling me. Then he had to get checked into for a psych eval afterwards.
Also,
they're like,
ironically
they're
enough,
not robots.
They won the non-classical part, but this album is probably considered, I know it's obviously a different definition of classic, but this album has probably been described as an instant classic by more than one person.
Yeah, true.
3 of them being here.
True. Just another little aside of like weird things that happened. Nile Rodgers, there was a documentary about him and like his disco career, and I guess as part of it, like they got a quote unquote transmission from the robots, where it was like, the robots want to say, let me, I don't know if I can find it. Hold on. But it was basically like, the robots want to congratulate you on your success and your music, and no, I guess it's not here. Yeah, but no, it was just like, okay, weird. Yeah, I guess I can't find it. Huh. I thought it was here. Anyway. But that brings us to 2016 to 2011, which are the final years.
I mean, 2021.
Wow, I said 11, didn't I? 2021, the final years.
We're like going backwards in time somehow.
Yeah.
It's the robots, god damn it.
It's the incident. It's happening again. On September 21st, 2016, Canadian R&B singer The Weeknd released his track Starboy that featured Daft Punk. The song hit number 1 on the Billboard Top 100, becoming the first number 1 song in America the duo were associated with. They also worked on the song I Feel It Comin', which peaked at number 4. Their work on I Feel It Comin' would be their final appearance on the single. Which is... Huh?
I was just gonna, I don't really like The Weeknd, and I don't like Starboy. If you took the vocals out, I love the beat. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a big fan of The Weeknd. I don't think his voice is like that amazing.
I think he's got a good voice, but that's just me.
I don't know. Maybe
I would disagree. But That's fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, people can totally
No,
disagree.
absolutely.
It's just not for me. But like the
Yeah,
beat
no, I
on
get that.
Starboy gets stuck in my head every time.
Yeah.
Like, you can play a 2-second clip of it and it'll get stuck in my head for a week.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I listened to both of these tracks in preparation. I was like, oh man, these are certified bangers. So towards the end of 2016, a fan-made website popped up and started a cascade of rumors about a new Daft Punk tour. And the site was just a blank page with the text "Alive" on it, but within the source code were geo coordinates based in Paris, Los Angeles, London, New York, Sao Paulo, Ibiza, and Indio, the location of Coachella. The website has since been taken down. I fell for this fake website. I was like beyond hyped. I was like, oh man, and I had a friend who's also super into Daft Punk, and we were like, dude, if we can get tickets to the New York City show, we'll like 100% drive out there. But it wasn't real.
It wasn't real.
If it turned out to be real, I didn't know about this, but like I would, knowing now that they're not going to be together, like that would have been totally drive to New York, fly to fucking Los Angeles, whatever.
I'll talk about it a little bit later, but like it was always one of those things that's like this, if I could see one group live, it would have been them. And that brings us to this week, February 22nd, 2011, so the week of this recording. Daft Punk released a video on their YouTube channel simply titled Epilogue. The video features footage from their film Electroma, in which one robot decides to self-destruct while the other walks away into the sunset. Later that day, Daft Punk's longtime publicist, Catherine Fraser, confirmed that the duo is split, but there hasn't been a reason given yet. Yeah, like I said, this bummed me out because I'd always held out hope that like I'd be able to see them perform live. But I guess if there's one good thing to come out of this, the news of the breakout led to a surge in the sales of the group's discography, with digital purchases rising by a staggering 2,650%.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I saw that, I think yesterday or the day before. I think I might have seen something like on Twitter about that, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, which, like, doesn't surprise me, though. I feel like this happens, like, every time a band breaks up or goes.
Especially if that was this big, this recently.
That's insane. I mean, I feel like you can always hold out hope. They can rebuild robots. Just because one's self-destructed doesn't mean maybe the motherboard survived, or like a little flash drive with all of its data. They could rebuild.
Dude, if you watch the clip from the movie, they literally, I don't know what they exploded it with, but they turned like the dummy obviously into like dust. It's a fucking wild explosion.
Maybe he backed up his memory before on the cloud.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I mean, no, my like minor holdout hope is that maybe they'll like individually like help produce tracks or something again.
That'd be
And we'll
cool.
still like hear that like kind of Daft Punk sound, but obviously not with the name attached to it. But that's it. And unless you boys want to have anything to add or anything to talk about.
I don't have anything that you haven't touched on already. I mean, you really did the research on this. I learned a fuck ton about Daft Punk tonight.
Yeah.
I did too. Literally, like watching, like doing the research, I learned like a lot, and then a couple interviews that I found with like other people who'd worked with them was like really interesting and enlightening.
I'm gonna go drive to work tomorrow, and I can guarantee Daft Punk will be playing the whole way because I really want to listen to them now.
Most of my research was mostly just like on the process of the music, which I don't think there's any way that anybody could really explain how they do it. I highly
That's kind of-
recommend like
Yeah.
looking into like exactly like there's like a lot of videos on YouTube that break down the samples and stuff, and I highly recommend that. Like just checking those out, because holy shit.
They're
Like,
robots.
Mhm.
It
That's
gives
how
you like a
explain it.
much deeper, I guess, appreciation of exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, I would agree. Just that video you sent me before we recorded, I was like fucking my mind was blown by it. But like I tried to like look at like the process and things like that, but I got into it. I was like, there's no way I can't just talk about technical like mixer jargon for fucking
Bro, they're like
an hour.
That'd be
four
an-
parallel universes ahead of us.
I feel like if we dove into that, it'd be another whole episode or something.
Like there was
and-
there was a section. Oh, sorry, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
There was a section in the Wikipedia article that was like, oh, in the early days, during their tours, they were using like this mixer with this sampler, and I was like, what the fuck?
What does this
Like
even
like we said
mean?
earlier, they just have like a very dedicated fan base who like want to learn everything they can, short of infringing, I guess, because a lot of the fans I don't think want to. I think they respect the desire for privacy,
Yeah.
and they just want to like learn as much as they can without like pushing it too far.
And I really think that it comes down to the fact that they're so secretive that it puts it in everyone's brain that you want to go out and learn more about them because you don't know anything about them.
Oh, maybe they did it in like a private ceremony. I tried to look up like the Daft Punk knighting ceremony, and I can't get any results.
I was just say I want to see them in like their full Daft Punk getup.
Yeah, like getting knighted by
fucking,
like
yeah.
the French, whatever the French monarchy is these days.
You know, I don't know. I don't know a lot about the French.
Just a bunch of heads in baskets. I know there are still aristocrats. Not to like change the subject, but we usually kind of ramble here at the end for a little bit. I've been watching Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, and I watched one about a French aristocrat who turned family annihilator
Oh.
in 2011.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to go too much into that. It's kind of depressing, but like I was like, there's still an aristocracy in France, which I guess it makes sense. Like they didn't really kill off everybody. They were just like, hey, fuck you, redistribute your wealth or die. And I guess some people did.
I mean, wealth matters a lot to some people, and they're willing
Wealth
to
is
die
like
for it. I can tell you I'm not.
subjective, man.
Can tell you I'm not.
But then, like a few years later, France also had like a little man on a horse leading them, and then they exiled into Russia.
Oh, man on the horse. He was average. That was propaganda.
Yeah,
Tim.
it was propaganda, like when we dropped XL condoms in Russia labeled medium. You guys know about that one?
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
I think that was a CIA op.
Yeah, I remember.
They like dropped.
Oh, go ahead.
They like dropped condoms over the Soviet Union labeled like medium.
Like, oh, we are going to scare
But
the
they-
communists by the
but they
sheer
were like
size
XL.
of our penises.
You wanna know who I found out that from? I learned
Sure.
about that in current events with Gaff. I'm not kidding. I don't know how it came up, but I think it was some kind of operation at the time that came out about, details. And so I was like, man, that's weird. And he goes, well, it's really weird. And then like told us about that. And I'm like, that can't be fucking real.
Oh, but it is.
But it is.
Sorry,
I don't know.
I was looking up the exact history of this, and all I found was like a list on historychannel.co.uk called 6 Things You Didn't Know the CIA Did. And one of them was the CIA made a propaganda porn film. They were trying to blackmail the president of Indonesia And so they made a guy wear a pretty convincing, like, I don't know if they said convincing. Let me see, which meant actually having to film, which meant creating a Sarkarno, who was the president of Indonesia, face mask, and getting a Los Angeles porn actor to wear it while having sex on camera, or simply finding a convincing look-alike porn stars. Like, accounts vary on how it was made, but the film was apparently never distributed. So they just tried and fucked it up.
They're like, hey, we're gonna make this, but this porn kind of sucks. We're not gonna release it.
I mean, they
I wonder
also
if you
let
can
a
find
chick
that
like
anywhere.
beat off a dolphin for a while too. So I mean,
I don't think they
While
let
that
her
dolphin
do
was on
that.
LSD.
I don't think she got fired for that.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
they
that
let her do
was-
it for a little bit because it was helping it focus better.
Didn't she
Yes.
fall in love
Dolphin.
with the dolphin too?
Huh?
I thought she said she like fell in love with the dolphin as well.
I think they like had a connection. I don't know if it was like a love thing, but dolphins
Lust.
are extremely horny animals. Like they rape people
I
a
mean,
lot.
yeah.
So like they found out that if they beat off this dolphin that it would concentrate better, and then the dolphin, being one of the smartest creatures in the fucking world, took advantage of it and would just start acting out so that they would start beating it off all the time. I'm not kidding. It's fucked up.
Such a
It's
weird
crazy.
part of American history.
I think that's the same experiment where they injected small amounts of LSD into the dolphins to see
Yep.
what would happen.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. God, that dolphin was living the fucking life, dude. Just tripping its face off, getting beat off. Like, God. That is like the highest point of a dolphin's life. A dolphin's a legend among dolphins.
I think that dolphin, she like either got fired or quit from the thing, and I'm pretty sure that dolphin got depressed and died,
Yeah.
if I remember the story
I think
right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, do we want to do plugs?
You can find me on
Yeah.
on Pornhub.com at Dolphin Beater.
I think that would get you banned under the new guidelines of that site, but okay.
Either that or you would get, investigated for animal abuse.
Oh my god!
Because that name has two different implications.
Yeah. No, I would
I feel like
get a
you'd
lot
get.
of-
I feel like you'd get investigated either implication, bud.
that phrase that I just said is going to be on, distributed on Spotify and Apple
You edit
Music.
it. You can decide not to. It's
I
up to
know
you.
I might put it out there, but I also might have, FBI showing up and CIA showing up being like, "Yo, don't do that."
Like, I live in
anymore."
I live in a landlocked county, sir. I don't have access to a dolphin.
I've only ever seen a dolphin at an aquarium doing tricks. I can't have one. Secretly, there's a room in my basement that I keep a dolphin.
But where can we actually find you?
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, no, actually you can find me at John Mergs at Instagram and then J Mergs on YouTube. That's about it.
You can catch me
well-
on twitter.com at gondola driver. I'm putting out bangers daily. Not really.
Have you been? I was gonna say I don't think you
Not
have been.
really. The only banger I put out was my Diogenes joke that I don't think many people
I don't even remember it, but I probably found it funny.
it is better. I think you liked it. Yeah, something like it is better to have a crab's worth of pinches than a pinch's
Yes.
worth of crabs.
Yes, that was very good.
I think of Diogenes often. I wish we had more of his work. That's one philosopher. I wish his shit didn't get lost to time. But that's besides the point.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Timmy C, and at Hot Pink Waffles on pretty much everything else. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I really hate that fucking username, but I can't get rid of it.
I love it. I really do.
It was really like the point in time where everyone's username was just adjective, noun. And I was like, yeah.
To be fair, I guess mine also is adjective noun. Well, if you look at box wine for my video gaming.
Oh, yeah.
My Twitter would be
you can
noun
find the
verb.
podcast at rewind.reloadpod or rewind.reload.pod. I think that's...
You can just look it up, Rewind and Reload on Instagram. You'll find it.
Rewind and Reload podcast at gmail.com and Rewind and Reload with an ampersand on YouTube.
And then Rewind, Reload on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, go follow us. Get us some followers, baby.
Go listen to Daft Punk. The exact track is called... Oh god, there's a track that's like legitimately sad on Random Access Memories and I can't think of what it is. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta pull up YouTube Music, Library, Downloads.
You want me to talk about Dolphin beating off some more?
Yep, I
just
do.
feel some
That's the wrong
time. Just
album.
I wish I knew insanely stupid facts about dolphins right now. Like that's one. Like I wish I could be like they have like a fucking 4-foot dong. I don't know that
whales.
though. Maybe.
It's called Beyond. I think it's Beyond. It's I don't know why. This song has made both me and a friend of mine like cry for 2 different reasons. So that's fun. See ya.
Probably.
Oh, don't beat off dolphins.